April 11th, Friday, updates in artificial intelligence. Tomorrow will be the day where the first cosmonaut or astronaut flew around the globe. So I decided to put it here. So Gagarin, Yuri Gagarin. Let's dive into our updates. So first is about Llama 4. The story with Llama 4 is that there was a lot of excitement and then a lot of kind of disappointment. One of the disappointments, let me go all the way down here in the leaderboard. Until 2 days ago, on the leaderboard, on the second place was Llama 4 Maverick Experimental. And then they removed it because apparently when they substituted it with the official open source Llama Maverick Instruct, it only got on a 32nd place. So this model which they originally put on the leaderboard was a modified model, variant specifically optimized to appeal to human voters. Well, there's a lot of discussion about it, so I don't know. So Llama is down there in the leaderboard. but let's talk about it. So what they have done, they trained a huge model which is called the Behemoth, which is more than 2 tera, not terabytes, but tera parameters. So it's a huge model. It's a mixture of expert models, 288 billion for active experts, 16 experts. Very interesting, very big model, and it's considered to be a teacher for distillation. So they distilled 2 smaller models. At the moment, it's Llama 4 Maverick and Llama 4 Scout. Like Maverick is a big one. It has about 400 billion parameter total, and the Scout is 109 billion total. So if you take this number of parameters and if you quantize it down to int4, then it will actually fit into one GPU. Also, what's good about this model that it has 10 million tokens context length. Although there's a lot of discussion because the training materials didn't have this length, it only had like 256K. So there is no like solid data if it's actually provide good support for this length. So this Scout model, the smaller model, it can fit in one board, quantized. Well, if you use H200, which has 140 memory, then it will fit in this without quantization. I mean, it will fit at 8-bit. Now, Llama Maverick is a bigger one, and this one they put on the leaderboard. And yeah, and it well performed very well. Like they believe it's like best in class performance to cost ratio. So you see this graph, Arena scores by company, and this blue is Llama, and it was low, and then suddenly, boom, it jumped here, but then now it's down again because they removed this particular model. So we'll see how it will develop. So Scout and Maverick both are from Behemoth by some sort of distilling. There should be another model for reasoning, but it was not released. They promised to release it in about a month. So here are some results. Also, today I looked on Llama, and finally we see several people have created quantized versions for Llama AI, so you can run it. Although be prepared that you need computer with a lot of memory. So if there's a Mac, you better have like 128 gig of unified memory. So these are the results for Maverick, and the results are actually very good. Next, about on-the-fly quantization. So what they say is why the model can fit in one GPU, because it can figure out the amount of memory you have, and it can quantize the model adaptively depending on the data. So you give it some data, it figures out the distribution, the questions, what experts are mostly used, and it selectively quantized the experts and the layers to achieve like less memory and almost not lose accuracy. So yeah, this is really great. And by the way, this image, of course, is made, I made it using GPT-4o. Okay, now Cerebras are known to have these huge chips, like 8.5 by 8.5 inches, like really big chips. So they now offer Llama Scout, which is the smaller model, and it's very fast. You see 2,500 kilotokens. So this is no tokens, so yeah, 2,600 tokens per second. So it's very fast in comparison to all other providers. Next, NVIDIA, in the meantime, took the previous Meta Llama 405 billion parameters, and they somehow distilled it, modified it, made their own version, which is Nemotron Ultra. And it is really good. It is better than Llama 4 and DeepSeek-GRM. So this is showing it. It runs on a server with 8 H100 GPUs. And they also claim it's cost effective, and companies can just install it, just one server, runs very good model. And it has a feature to turn reasoning on or off, which is also good. And you can do it via API. They use architecture which they call neural architecture search, which I'm not sure what it is, 128 kilotokens context length. So here are some links. Next big event this week, it's Google Cloud Next event in Las Vegas. So you see April 9th to 11th. A lot of announcements. Of course, everything is around AI, cybersecurity, data insights, building agents, hypercomputer, Gemini models, agentic AI, AI-powered development, so agent developer kit, new Google Unified Security, Google Cloud databases, AI capabilities, AlloyDB, MongoDB, Firestore, a lot of stuff, right? They announced Gemini 2.5 Flash, Gemini 2.5 Pro now available for everybody. What I really liked is this new Google TPU. So Tensor Processing Unit chip, which they just announced, it's not production yet, but first of all, a lot of flops per watt. What's important now is all these AI calculations, data centers, they need a lot of power, even build their own nuclear power plants. So they put a lot of focus on how to make it energy efficient. And you see there's a huge jump in efficiency. Now, one chip can do 4.6 teraflops, and it scales to more than 9,000 chips per pod, like per piece of furniture, which is a huge performance. And there is a supercomputer El Capitan, which we mentioned, like this whole data center running it. And you see this, like one pod beats, like dwarfs it. I mean, really, the supercomputer. Each chip has 192 gigabyte of high bandwidth memory, so very fast memory, 6 times more than the previous version. Memory bandwidth is also much higher and delivers 2 times more performance per watt. It's nearly 30 times more than Google first TPU from 2018. So this is a huge development, especially when it will go in production. Okay, next, Microsoft has upgraded Copilot, lots of changes. So memory, it remembers your previous conversations, it learns about you, actions, real-time vision, so it can remember conversations, personal details, create individual profile, routines, important information, can browse the web and perform actions for you. GitHub public MCP server, now everybody is doing MCP servers, which is protocol to connect your model to data, and model context protocol. So this is a new offering from GitHub. Like everybody now offers this. Midjourney releasing version 7. It's now in alpha preview, and it's again a lot of progress. Smarter, better image quality, has model personalization, has a cheap and fast draft mode. SandboxAQ, quantum tech startup. This one is from Alphabet, which is parent of Google, and they raised additional 150 million. Valuation is about 6 billion. Total funding is already close to $1 billion. SandboxAQ. Next, a lot of updates about deepfake fraud. It grows, it becomes a real problem. Just recently, a few years ago, time to generate an image was about 30 seconds. Now it is hundreds per second. So you can generate a lifelike video in real time, plus real-time voice. So you can do deepfakes on the fly. The old age seeing is believing simply no longer applies. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang puts it bluntly: every single pixel will be generated soon, not rendered, generated. So bad actors use deepfakes for financial fraud, election manipulation. They get remote jobs using false identities and even spoofing video interviews. So you're talking to a person real time, but it's actually not a real person. In one major case, over 300 US companies unknowingly hired North Korean operatives who funneled millions of wages to fund their own weapons programs. So huge thing. This is an interesting project, LLM Honeypot. You can see it on GitHub. And what they do, they create they simulate the server, right? And they then let these bad deepfake systems to try to penetrate the server or communicate with the server, and this gives them opportunity to learn about these bad actors. So this is the picture, this is actual software. Next, Genspark's super agent. Remember we spoke about Manus AI, which was an autonomous agent from China, about $200 a month. It is using Claude and 29 tools. Here, another agent also coming from China, and it's using a mixture of agents architecture. It has 9 different language models, 80 specialized tools, proprietary data sets, and it's a lot of, so it's much better than Manus AI. And it happened very fast. Manus was just a few weeks ago. So it can do travel planning, voice calling, reservations, personalized video creation, professional applications like LinkedIn analysis, advanced research tasks, creation of cooking tutorials, animated content with minimal user input. But what they stress is the way it talks is very, very natural. It's absolutely human. Next thing, NVIDIA AgentIQ, Python library to unify agentic workflow. So you may have different frameworks for agents, and this system allows them to communicate, to work together. Adds composability, observability, reusability. Every agent tool workflow is treated as a function call, allowing developers to mix and match components from different frameworks. Okay, next, DeepSeek-GRM models. So this is a paper on Archive, and they created a way to tune them. It's called self-principled critique tuning to make it better. Next, optical chip. So this is the device. It's not production yet, but close to, and it's light-based, not electricity-based. It's light-based. Offers 50 times more speed and 30 times energy efficiency over silicon. So maybe this is the future. Next, ODS, Open Deep Search. So this is the picture combines Open Search Tool and Open Reasoning Agent. So Open Reasoning Agent interprets the search query you give it, and then orchestrate using Open Search Tool and maybe some other tools to answer your questions. So if you use DeepSeek-GRM, ODS nearly matches and sometimes surpasses the existing state-of-the-art baselines like GPT-4o search preview on benchmarks. So good thing that it's open. Next, Chinese universities overtake US rivals. Yes, and I can see it, by the way, from the news, a lot of new papers coming from China, a lot of new developments. Chinese universities have surged ahead of US institutional research output. For example, Peking University has topped the global ranking since 2022. Chinese universities is setting new standards AI domain. DeepSeek Chinese AI disruptor, building powerful AI. This achievement can be largely attributed to the wealth of talent graduating from local universities. So a lot of AI training in the universities. Next, Shopify. CEO Toby Lutke, his principle, use AI before hiring. So when people, managers say, well, I want to hire several more people, the answer is no. First, try to use AI, and only if you prove that using AI you cannot solve the problem, only then maybe they allow you to hire somebody. So this is what's happening. Cloudflare AutoRAG. I love Cloudflare. If you're not using it, I highly recommend to look at it. It's a content delivery network, but it also provides a lot of services. You can put websites, workers, and so now they're adding, basically RAG. It's called Cloudflare AutoRAG, and it's very, very easy to set up and start using. So no more programming, just configure what you need. Next, OpenAI to release O3 and O4 Mini in April. So why it is happening? Because OpenAI, which for a long time was on the first position of leaderboard, suddenly was overtaken by others like Gemini, Grok, and even Llama 4. So they decided to shift their schedule to deliver something to stay on top. So they changed their plans because of success of Google Gemini. And what they're trying to do now is to release O3 and O4 Mini, which they can release fast, and then do GPT-5 later. Okay, next, Cogito V1 from Deep Cogito. So Cogito is a San Francisco research startup, Deep Cogito, and they released a family of new models. These models are open source, and they are fine-tuned based on Meta Llama 3.2. So they're relatively small, from 3 billion to 70 billion. And they have hybrid reasoning capabilities. So they can answer quickly, or they can do more thinking. And they're available on usual places like Hugging Face, Llama, and so on. Next is Deepcoder 14b. This is kind of amazing. So look at this graph. So here you have a model size, 14b, 32b, like I guess 70 somewhere here. What? Hello? Mute yourself, please. Anyway, and here is the performance. And you see this Deepcoder, it's high there, but it provides the same performance as O3 Mini and O1. So if you think about leaderboard, so Deepcoder 14 is somewhere here. So these are like the top 20 models for coding. And yeah, this is very good result for very, very small model. It is fine-tuned from DeepSeek-GRM distilled Qwen 14b. And yeah, so next, Google paying to stop competitors getting its experts. So what's going on? Google actually pays people money to stay with Google and do nothing. like, because some people want to quit and Google offers them money just to stay, not to switch ships, not to go to competitors. And yeah, this is interesting. Next, RARE, Retrieval Augmented Reasoning Modeling. So this is a paper. Extends RAG retrieval-based approach by adding layers of reasoning optimization. Empirical results show lightweight models trained with RARE outperform large models like GPT-4 on medical benchmarks. Okay, next, Anthropic Max plan. So Anthropic now, following the steps of OpenAI GPT, offers two plans. One is $100 a month, another is $200 a month. So when you do 100, you get 5 times higher rate limits, and 200, you get 20 times higher rate limits, and some other perks as well. Next, Firebase Studio. So Google take on Cursor editor. So in the browser, you have a development tool where you can basically IDE, integrated development, where you can develop applications. So it's a full stack apps using natural language prompts and images. Requires API key for Gemini, and as usual, like as Bolt New and other such systems, is mostly for JavaScript development. Next, Mira Murati, former CTO of OpenAI, who now has her own startup, and she brought in some very good people, and now she in talks to receive $2 billion valuation, $2 billion of cash at 10 billion valuation. Like, it hasn't happened yet, but if it will be like the biggest seed in funding in history. Very, very interesting. The company is called Thinking Machine Lab, and they don't have a product yet. They don't have anything. Like, again, next, Google Agent-to-Agent Open Protocol, so A2A, complements Anthropic Model Context Protocol, which we mentioned before. So this is open protocol, supports 50 plus technology partners and leading service providers, will allow AI agents to communicate with each other, securely exchange information, coordinate actions, and so on. Okay, next. Twitter, I mean XAI, they have a model called Grok, and now they released API, and these are the prices. So this is per million tokens in dollars. So $3 per million tokens input, and 15 for output. And for mini model, it is cheaper. Okay, next, Kimi VL A3B, multimodal open source language model from Moonshot AI, 128 kilo context, outperforming GPT-4 on vision and math benchmarks, available on Hugging Face. Well, just think about it. Like, I'm not tired listening about small models outperforming GPT-4, or in this case, GPT-4o, which is quite a challenge, frankly. And yeah, this is great. Next, Cursor versus Copilot and OneServe. Remember last week we spoke about Cursor AI, and it received funding more than $600 million at the 9.6 billion valuation. Cadeum, which is known as Windsurf editor, is the main product, also now in talks at close to 3 billion valuation. So what's interesting, companies start as extension for Visual Studio Code, then they go on their own, create their own app, and then they have this huge valuation. So what's happening now is kind of a battle between Visual Studio Code and Cursor, because Cursor was a spun-off of Visual Studio Code, right? It was a fork of Visual Studio Code, and for some time, people who used Cursor could also install some of the Microsoft, not necessarily Microsoft, but Visual Studio Code extensions. So Visual Studio Code Editor is known for a lot of extensions, but apparently Microsoft got tired and annoyed for like servicing customer service requests or something from like third-party companies like Cursors, something is not working, and they just stop that. So user of Cursor, which is a VS Code fork, are getting now error messages stating that Microsoft, let's say in this case C++ extension and other extensions, can only be used within official Microsoft products. So according to the VS Code terms of use, you may only install with Visual Studio Code. So any product like Cursor was not allowed to do this in the first place, but Microsoft enforced it only now. So they updated their policies, and this restriction helps Microsoft to deal with support burden. In the future, fork developers like Cursor will use Open VSX Marketplace instead of Microsoft VS Code Marketplace. So Marketplace, I mean, when you go to VS Code, you can click on extension and you see a lot of extensions, which is a marketplace. You can download and use them. Open alternatives to Microsoft proprietary extensions will develop. Yes. So Microsoft transformed Copilot from simple extension into a feature integrated into VS Code. So this is important. So before, like if you would go to Visual Studio Code and you try to search for extensions, you will see a lot of extensions for AI assistance for coding. But now Microsoft actually integrated Copilot, Microsoft Copilot. Now it's not an extension, it's part of Visual Studio Code. So now Microsoft VS Code and Cursor AI editor, they basically can do the same thing, right? So you don't need to switch from VS Code to Cursor to get AI features. They already built in. And with all the recent advancement in Microsoft Copilot, it's already there, it's already installed. So yeah, it's no brainer. Okay. I spoke about Windsurf and its valuation. So people who are not creating models, but just using models to provide some service, they're making a lot of money. And example of Cursor and Windsurf. Okay, next about IBM mainframe. So they're releasing new version Z17. The previous one was Z16. So up to 26 Telium 2 processors, each has 8 cores, 64 terabytes of memory, well, mainframe, a lot of memory, but up to 96 IBM Spire AI accelerated chips. So each chip has 1 terabyte of memory, fully encrypted, and it has 50% higher performance, more energy efficient. AI acceleration increased 5 times. Well, mainframes are widely used by 71% of Fortune 500 companies. It can easily run 100 billion parameter model on a single AI accelerator. And they can have 96 such accelerators inside one computer. So running a full 671 billion DeepSeek-GRM would require running several accelerators in parallel. They are saying that they will do it, but it was not demonstrated yet. So this is about mainframe. And mainframe is not used for training. It's only used for inference, for business purposes. Well, that's what IBM does. It's not a research company. They provide workhorses for business. Anyway, the LM Arena leaderboard, what do we see? So as I told, Llama spectacularly went down, so it's not here, it's like on 32nd place down there. So who is on the top? Gemini is on the top, both for English queries and for coding. ChatGPT is on the second place. Third place is XAI with their Grok model. You see a lot of China. You see China, a lot of it. Claude don't even fit in the first 20 for English queries, but it is here on the coding, and I still like it. I guess that's it. Yeah, and I told you about the small deep coder. I haven't tested it yet. I really like to see how it works because it's so small. Next is about tech layoff. So this is a very interesting graph. It shows tech layoffs by year. And you see there was a lot of layoffs in 2023, and this is current year, and these are projected layoffs. So it is less than it was in previous years. And I looked up the explanation why there was so many layoffs in 2023. So it was correction after pandemic overhiring, when people were sitting at home. Rising interest rates, Federal Reserve increased the interest rates to combat inflation, which made capital more expensive, put pressure on tech companies to reduce cost. Also economic uncertainty, fears of recession, slower economic growth, investors more risk averse, pushing tech companies to focus on profitability rather than growth. And same with AI investments. Anyway, this is me, and thank you.